So, a busy evening ahead, but first to an incredible interview with Craig Bellamy. The Manchester City forward has told Sky Sports News that he doubts he has a future at the club. The Wales international doesn't believe he'll be included in the 25-man squad, which has to be finalised by September the 1st. Bellamy claims he's not spoken to Roberto Mancini for 6 months and has no idea where he'll be playing when the transfer window closes.
Reading in between the lines how pre-season's gone, it doesn't look great for me. But I've just tried to really keep my head down and work as hard as I can because, you know, I do feel I can offer Man City something. I enjoyed my most successful year last year. You know, like my statistics were up there. You know, I was in the top 3, high intensity. You know, my running all year in the Premier League. Hit double figures in assists for assists. Hit double figures for goals. So, you know, my stats were there, but. You know, it just seems a little bit different this year. He hasn't spoken to me since February, so but he's like that with a lot of the players there. So there's not, you know, I don't think you have to, you know, be high-fiving a manager and speaking to him, you know, on a day-to-day basis. Some people are very different. You know, I had a really great relationship with Martin O'Neill, but we never really spoke. Mark Hughes was exactly the same. But there just seems to be, you know, I don't know. I just felt I was more in the way this summer than anything. You know, just by everyone at the club. I just felt, you know, the players been great. I've tried to train as hard as I can, you know, to try and win people over that way. That I really do want to be a part of the club, but you know, it feels now with a 25-man squad getting named, and you know, it seems more unlikely that, you know, my name's going to be involved in it. The indications me and my agent have had, that isn't good. It doesn't look like I'm going to be in the 25, but I'll have to wait and see until it becomes official. Then I'll have to make that decision. Man City allowed me to speak to one club. They allowed me to speak to Wolfsburg. I spoke to Steve McLaren. I let him know as politely as I could that I didn't see Wolfsburg being an option for me at that time. I still felt I had a real good chance of playing at Man City, and that was really how I was left. I think they were after the big fella, you know, Dzeko up front. So that's how, you know, I left it there. But I suppose anything can be an option if I don't get in the 25. You know, I'm from Cardiff, so I've always wanted to play for Cardiff. My wife and kids live here, so you know, there's a family reasons you would have more of a pull than anyone else. But whether they're in a situation where they could do something, or whether I'm, you know, whether I'm thinking I can go to the Championship and play there, then, you know, there's a lot of, you know, we can talk a few other clubs as well. There's a lot of other scenarios, but we'll have to wait and see what happens.
Well, this is why Bellamy is so concerned. He's only featured in 2 of City's 7 pre-season games, playing just under 2 hours. Compare that with Emmanuel Adebayor, who's played over 7 hours of football. Joe, who spent last season on at Everton, has played over 5 hours. Carlos Tevez has played less than half. He was given extra time off following the World Cup with Argentina. All this despite Bellamy being one of City's best attacking options last season. In the Premier League, he was City's 3rd most prolific striker with 10 goals. He also provided 8 assists. That's more than any other striker. He's also among 6 strikers on City's books competing for a place in the 25-man squad, but he's the only one who would qualify as a homegrown player.
Well, Bellamy's future could depend on whether or not City signed Mario Balotelli. The Inter Milan striker has arrived in England, but he's with the Italy squad rather than here to negotiate a move to Manchester City. Balotelli, part of the Italy squad who play the Ivory Coast at Upton Park this evening. There's continuing speculation linking him with a move to Man City, but he wouldn't comment when asked about his future.
Any more word from Man City, Mario? Anything? No more contact?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Would you like to link up with Man City?
Meanwhile, Manchester City defender Neda Manur is on the verge of joining Sunderland on a season-long loan deal after the clubs agreed a deal for the defender.